the Green Car Award by ICOTY. They say it takes a village to raise a child. Well, I can tell you it takes a lot more than that to raise the country's most prestigious automotive award to maturity, adulthood, and provenance. That being the case, I need to thank some of the founding members of ICOTY who, despite competing with each other, had the foresight over 2 decades ago to come together to recognize excellence in the industry. Some of these founding members are still on the jury. Bob, Aspi, Yogen, thank you for not wringing each other's necks over the past 2 decades in sun. I also want to thank the juries of ICOTY and IMOTY, and of course the chairman of the juries, Pablo and Karthik, as well as the secretaries of the juries, Atish and Shiva, who have steered us in the right direction towards putting this evening together. I couldn't possibly go any further without expressing my sincere gratitude to Dr. Singhania, Hari, Srinivasu, Neha, and the entire team at Tyre for supporting us from day one. I also need to thank each and every one of you for being here tonight. It really does mean the world to us. It's not only an honor for me to be a part of one of the most experienced automotive juries on the planet, but it's an honor and a pleasure for me to share the room with each and every one of you here this evening. But most of all, I need to thank you for giving us a reason to wake up every morning and go to work. Some of us call driving around in cars and riding on bikes a profession. Please don't tell our spouses that we only do it because we love it, and we feel like we cheated the system by calling this work. Now, may I please request all of you to sit back and enjoy the evening. Let the show begin.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, all friends from the industry, from my fellow jury members, and of course, our partners in this journey, everybody from JK Tyre. I stand here now addressing you as the president of AJAY, the Automotive Journalists Association of India, which is the brand custodian for the ICOTY and IMOTY Awards. We formed AJAY in 2017 to come together as a voice for the automotive journalists, as a voice on government tables, as a voice for the betterment of automotive journalists, and for the industry as well as the roads that we drive on. Well, after a long incubation period, AJAY finally sparked to life last year when we did a pan-India drive with one of the OEMs and our partners, JK Tyres. And we've also grown the membership of AJAY to close to half a century now. I think we should be closing up on 50 members. Dhruv Bahl would have the details because he keeps track of the money registers. They've been clinking quite rapidly these days. This year, that we've finally gotten going on AJAY, we hope to do a lot more. We have some focus areas that we have identified, including road safety, young automotive journalist mentorship, as well as safe riding. My fellow founding members of AJAY, Bob Rupani, will head the initiative on road safety. Sirish Chandran, who's unfortunately not here today, will head the Young Journalist Mentorship and Awards, and Aspi Batena will head the riding safety and focus on two-wheelers. I'd like to invite the entire industry to come together with AJAY and help us on these initiatives, which we should take forward for the betterment of our fraternity, the roads we drive on, as well as the industry as a whole. Thank you, and I'd like to invite Pablo Chatterjee, the chairman of ICOTY jury for 2026, to come up on stage and take the evening forward. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Sorry, these days I need these glasses to read anything, which gives you an indication of how long I've been around. It's a real pleasure to welcome all of you to the Indian Car of the Year and Indian Motorcycle of the Year Awards this evening. Standing here today as chairman of the ICOTY jury, for me, is both a professional milestone and a very personal moment. When the ICOTY Award was first instituted, I was a cub photographer with motoring, and very much at the start of my journey in automotive journalism. I remember standing quietly at the back of the room, which was filled with the heavyweight journalists of the time who made up the jury, and these were people whose bylines I had grown up reading and whose opinions shaped the industry. Not too long after that, I had the honor of joining the jury myself. And so to now stand here as chairman several years later is something that I could not have imagined, and it's a reminder of how special this platform is, and also how much responsibility comes with it. I am genuinely grateful for the trust that my fellow jurors have placed in me. This year, as we all know, has been an eventful one for the industry. We've seen uncertainty, we've seen rapid change, shifting consumer priorities, regulatory challenges, and absolutely no shortage of headwinds. But what is encouraging is that the industry is ending the year on a high, and there is renewed momentum, there are strong product pipelines, and a very clear sense of direction. My hope is that this momentum carries forward into the years ahead, because a vibrant and competitive industry ultimately benefits everyone: manufacturers, journalists, and most importantly, the paying customer. One of the reasons the ICOTY Awards continue to command credibility year after year is the integrity of the entire process. The voting process is very rigorous, it is data-driven and uncompromisingly fair. Every juror votes independently based on very clearly defined criteria, and the entire process is audited and monitored by Deloitte, who are our knowledge partners. And this ensures that there's absolutely no room for ambiguity or doubt or error. I'd also like to thank and acknowledge JK Tyre, our partners through the entire ICOTY journey, and without whom none of this would be possible. And their continued support has played a very significant role in allowing these awards to grow in stature and relevance. As we look ahead, I'd like to reveal that there are some interesting changes that we have planned for the awards next year. What those are, I will keep a secret for now. Or what I will say is that they will reflect how the industry is evolving and how we, as the jury, must evolve with it. I'd like to take a moment to thank all my fellow jurors, an absolutely outstanding group of professionals who bring expertise, very strong opinions, and a healthy respect for the process to the table every single year. I'd like to acknowledge all the hard work put in by the ICOTY and IMOTY secretaries, whose work behind the scenes often goes unseen, but without whom none of this would be possible either. Finally, a big thank you to everyone from the industry who has taken the time to be here with us this evening, because ultimately these awards exist because of the products that you create. You are, quite simply, the reason that we are all here in the first place. On a personal note, I'd like to thank my good friend Dhruv Bell, because I forgot to bring a tie for this evening, and this very colorful thing that you see me wearing belongs to him, so he saved my behind. On that note, I hope you enjoy the evening, the conversations, and of course the celebrations. Thank you very much, and I'd now like to request Dr. Singhania to come up and address the gathering.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is my privilege to welcome you all to this 21st edition of the Indian Car of the Year Award and the 19th edition of the Indian Motorcycle of the Year Awards. Tonight, we gather not only to celebrate the best vehicles launched this year, but also to acknowledge the engineering, leadership, design ingenuity, and the technological advancement that are shaping India's automotive future. Over the years, these recognitions have evolved far beyond industry accolades. For many of you here, they have become the definitive benchmark of automotive excellence in the country. Our esteemed jury, an independent body known as was just said, Ajay, brings together an extraordinary wealth of experience behind the wheel and the handlebars. Their expert evaluations have been instrumental in establishing ICOTY and IMOTY as the most credible and coveted awards in the Indian automotive sector. At JK Tyre, we are proud to have been associated with ICOTY and IMOTY since their inception. These awards resonate deeply with the values of credibility, customer focus, and steadfast commitment to advancing future-ready mobility. JK Tyre, the Desh Ka Tyre, has always been committed to enabling safe, reliable, and intelligent mobility across India's diverse and demanding landscape. This year has been especially significant for us. We continue to expand and modernize our portfolio with cutting-edge technologies and strengthen our manufacturing capabilities through strategic investments. Notably, we introduced India's first passenger car radial tire made with International Sustainability and Carbon Certification ISCC Plus certificate for sustainable raw materials, reinforcing our belief that sustainability and performance go hand in hand. We also elevated the connected mobility with India's first embedded smart tire with integrated sensor technology to enhance safety, fuel efficiency, and tire life. Our digital transformation agenda is now progressing on a fast track across the organization. A major milestone was the installation of India's first precision tire buffing and grinding machine for wet grip on worn-out tires at Netrix, an important addition to country's tire testing infrastructure, supporting superior validation, homologation, and new product development. Motorsport continues to remain central to our development and technological validation. Earlier this year, driving through the literally thin air and sub-zero temperatures, Sonam Sakon created history using JK Tyre's Levitas Ultra High Performance Tire. He helped set a Guinness World Record for the highest altitude drift at Umling La, 19,023 feet high, an extraordinary feat that showcased remarkable driver skills, endurance, and engineering excellence. It proves that the limits of performance are where true innovation is tested. This year also marks a defining transition for India's mobility sector. The proposed CAFE 3 norms expected from 2027 introduce significantly stricter carbon emission and fuel efficiency targets. This shift is poised to accelerate the adoption of hybrids, flexi-fuel vehicles, and EVs while demanding superior efficiency from ICE platforms. For supporting industries, including tires and components, it represents a call to innovate the low rolling resistance technologies, advanced materials, and solutions tailored for next-generation powertrains. At JK Tyre, we see this moment not as a challenge, but an opportunity to deepen innovation in sustainable materials, smart systems, and precision engineering. As we commence this evening's celebration of automotive excellence, I extend my sincere appreciation to every OEM, engineer, designer, researcher, and the technicians who have dedicated and continues to elevate India's automotive story. The vehicles shortlisted tonight embody the finest of Indian and global engineering. We look forward to an exceptional and inspiring evening, one that celebrates innovation, honors exceptional achievements, and salutes the pioneers shaping the future of mobility in India. Thank you all, and I hope you enjoy the evening. Thank you very much.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Namaste, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Rohit. That's Abhay. Abhay and I go back a long time from riding bikes together when we were in our 20s, back home in Pune in our motorcycling club.
The same motorcycling club we were riding together.
All the way to working together at Overdrive, creating some amazing stories, thanks to all the vehicles provided by you guys. So it's lovely to be in front of all of you. And today we'll be presenting the jury.
Yeah, I think it's been a wonderful journey for Rohit and me, and of course the rest of the jury, all of us together. And today to be here on stage to introduce this, the group of gentlemen who are with me on the jury with us, it's a great honor for us. And Rohit, I think we should probably start with Karthik Ware. Karthik is the chairman of IMOTY, and of course now we know for a fact that Karthik is somebody who believes that good automotive writing should make you smile before it makes you think. And that's one of his core identities. And Rohit, I think we do agree that Karthik is somebody who sees stories in every vehicle. And
that's true.
And probably narrates them to his Valentino Rossi helmets at home as well.
Absolutely. And next up we have Shivang Bhatt from AutoX. He absolutely adores and loves Jeremy Clarkson, sarcasm, and we are told even Valentino Rossi. So no wonder he hasn't changed his Facebook display picture for all these years, because some say it was Jeremy Clarkson who took a selfie with him.
Yeah.
Next up we have Pablo Chatterjee. He has already addressed all of you. He is the chairman for the ICOTY this year. Now, he claims that he accidentally got into automotive journalism. Clearly, it's gone very well because we voted him to be chairman this year. And I think this is a man whose words are as well-dressed as he is.
And then we have Atish Mishra from Evo India. He is the secretary of ICOTY, and Atish is somebody who's convinced that print is not dead yet. In fact, if anything, I think print is actually, it's just getting better as time passes. And talking about pages, Rohit, did you know that Atish actually has multiple Instagram pages for himself, and there's one exclusively for his bald head. And I think it'll be interesting to see, any guesses as to which page has more followers.
I'm guessing it's the head. But we move to Dhruv Bahl. You all know him. He is a dyed-in-the-wool journalist, and he founded AutoX. And he's the guy who's been giving all of us here garage goals, driving goals, and even taxi laps to all the new jurors who've been joining ICOTY and IMOTY every year.
And then we have Ishan Raghav again from AutoX. And Ishan again is somebody who has, I'm sure all of you here would agree, has tons of knowledge about cars. And I mean, he also has tons of knowledge about watches, to be honest. I don't know how many of you knew that, but he really knows his watches. Yeah.
And a certain type of beverage as well, I'm guessing.
That too. Yeah.
And we have Karan Mathur as well. He is a new joinee this year in the jury panel. And he is the kind of guy who pops willies first and asks questions later. I'm guessing most of you two-wheeler guys already know of that.
And then, of course, we have Yogen from Auto Today. Yogen's already addressed the evening and, spoken to all of you. He's also known as Yogi affectionately. Most of you do know that. And Yogen is somebody who can actually dissect a car's heart and its engine and tell you everything about it. But what most of you would not know that Yogen is also a motorcyclist, and he owns a Royal Enfield Interceptor 650, a BMW R1250 GS, and an Ola S1 Pro as well.
In fact, Yogen is one of the calmest editors that I have met in this industry, though I'm not sure if Rahul and Dipan agree to that.
Okay, next we have Rahul Ghosh again. Talking about Rahul. Rahul is from Auto Today again, of course, most of you know him. Now, Rahul, I think, gives all of us in the jury and otherwise as well garage goals of a different kind. Like he's known for his interest in terms of be it scale models or full-size vehicles. He always likes some of the quirkiest of vehicles around. And
I think that's a bit like Karthik Ware, right? I mean, he also believes old is gold, so yes, it clearly shows in his actions. And then we have Dipan Datta joining us again from Auto Today, and he also has an infamous 2008 Ducati Monster, which apparently crossed borders once on a boat. I don't know if it was legal or not, but it did. So definitely catch up with him and ask him about that story. But I think he's still not able to decide whether he likes bikes more or cars.
Actually, Rohit, I mean, given his recent racing experience, I think he likes flying race cars more.
Yeah, I think vertical, not horizontal. And we are talking about the flying race car still.
And then we have Abhinav Jakar again from Auto Today. Not too long ago, Abhinav was creating storybook scenarios with scale models of his favorite cars and motorcycles, and now he's graduated to actually shooting cars and motorcycles, but on a 1:1 scale. But yeah, one fact that hasn't changed is that his parents still dread having him go anywhere near a toy shop.
I can totally imagine. And next is Bob Rupani. Doesn't really need an introduction. He is one of India's pioneering auto journalists, also one of the founding jury members of the ICOTY. And Bob is usually happiest behind the wheel, of course. And he is always putting the car under a microscope. And if it's got a beating heart, under a stethoscope as well.
And I think I'm truly honored to announce the next jury member to you because it's Aspi Batena. Again, like Bob, he's been one of the founding jury members for ICOTY and IMOTY, both been there on the jury panel for the full 21 years since the inception. But more importantly, now Rohit and me, we're both bikers at heart. So for us, the main thing is that Aspi is also an Isle of Man TT medalist. And well, he's earned every right to judge everything that, is on the contenders list every year. And when he's not judging, Aspi is somebody who's building race bikes, and I'm still wondering, Aspi, how do you keep yourself so prim and proper, always?
Joining Aspi from his team is Saeed Akhtar. He is turned into an auto enthusiast by going through all these old magazines that he found at old scrap shops. And over a decade and a half ago, he decided to join Bike India, had a few detours, and then came back to riding and writing. So welcome back, Saeed, and welcome to the jury panel.
And then we have, again, from Aspi's team at Car India, we have Gaurav Davre. Now, he's a new addition to the jury list this year. And if you guys haven't seen him too much, that's probably because, Gaurav is an ex-karting racer and he spent a lot of his time inside a helmet setting lap times in go-karts.
Next up, we have Vikrant Singh, again, a known entity, and he loves his cars and bikes, just that he doesn't love them the way you make them, which is why he ends up modifying them, changing them, usually for the worse. But he still loves his machines, and I think we all know of all the escapades that we've seen with all of these.
And after Vikrant, we have Sagar Bhanushali from Carwale. Now, Sagar, Rohit, he has a Fiat Padmini-sized heart for, be it scale models, classic cars. And Sagar is actually somebody who spends a lot of his money on scale models and classic cars. And Rohit, I think that's one reason why, automotive journalists are not really rich.
Tell me about it. Next up, joining him is Rishabh Bhaskar, who is a part-time professional, though he's looking really good today. And he's also a full-time cafe hopper. So usually when he's not writing or reviewing, he's planning his next ride, sipping over some cold brew or maybe even a sourdough sandwich.
Okay, then we have Sirish Chandran from Evo India, and he's not here today, not because he's burning some new rubber on his 911, but because of a family situation. But as a journalist, I think Sirish is truly living the dream that all of us started off with, no?
Absolutely. In fact, if in 2026 you see all of us reviewing a pink performance car, that's on him. And from Evo, we also have Karan Ramgopal. He firmly believes that newer things are usually better, and that's the belief with which he has joined the jury this year. So welcome on board, Karan. And after all of this is done, he'll happily discuss motorcycles and heavy metal music with you. So if you guys are into that, please catch him.
And Rohit, next on my list, just like Karan, there's one more first-timer on the jury. It's Manal Mahatme from Motoring World. And, Manal owns more race suits than social skills is what I'm told. But tonight he's wearing a suit without a back protector.
And then we have Kranti Sambhav from Overdrive. You all know him. He's steered audiences through various cars and bikes on digital media, on the television, and now even on the magazine front. And this is the guy that we are usually talking about. It's his perspective that we are usually giving you when we are complaining about the headroom in the rear seats.
Wait, so Rohit, you mean Overdrive में क्रांति संभव है?
बिल्कुल.
And of course, then we have Rohit right here from Overdrive. Rohit calls himself the fat biker. And as if reviewing fast cars and bikes was not enough, our man is now reviewing a lot of scale models as well. So, I think he's one of those guys who just refuse to grow up.
And I think I like it that way. Thank you so much, Abhay, for that introduction. And next up, we have Arpit Mahindra, editor of TOI Auto. He believes that the ideal work-life balance is balancing between two cars. If you follow him on social media, you'll know what I'm talking about. So he's got those Ajay Devgan goals. And he also believes that the ideal work-life balance is spending the same amount of time in the gym as he does behind the wheel. And speaking of balance, we have Abhay Verma here, who loves to balance all motorcycles on one wheel. That is one of his tests for every motorcycle. He is our in-house wheelie master. He is also an endurance record holder, and he is also someone who has driven a Formula 1 car.
Thank you for that, Rohit. Next up, we have Kushan Mitra. And Kushan is a veteran journalist who's now seen, reviewed, and driven cars for more than 2 decades, I believe.
Yes.
Now, some say he's an EV hater, but the writing on the wall is clearly different because Kushan now has a wall box charger at home.
And then we have Tushar Kamath, Associate Editor of Car Dekho, again a first-timer on the ICOTY jury panel. Welcome on board, Tushar. Now, his perspective of cars is a little bit different. You would know if you've met him. Where we usually see headlights, he begins to judge the upholstery by peeping through the sunroof.
Yeah, that's how tall he is. I think he's one of the tallest journalists we have.
I'm guessing he definitely doesn't get shoes in his size, so that I know.
Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's the jury for this year. And as always, I believe, and like Pablo mentioned earlier, the jury has again done a stellar job. And I request you all to just, applaud the jury, give us a big hand. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's a privilege and pleasure to be on the stage here with you all. And before we move ahead with the award proceedings, let me just quickly run you through the ICOTY and IMOTY scoring methodology that all jury members need to comply with. First of all, every jury member has a maximum of 25 points that they can award to a vehicle. Between that, they need to score at least 5 vehicles. They can choose to, of course, score more vehicles, but 5 is the bare minimum. And no 2 vehicles can be awarded the same highest score. And the highest score is 10. So in simple, every jury sheet needs to have a clear winner. Once the scoring is done, then the sheets are handed over to our Deloitte partners, and they then tabulate the results from there, and of course, they bring it over in an envelope, which today here will be opened up shortly. So that's basically the process how the jury judges. And with that, I would now like to invite upon Mr. Rajat Mahajan, who is the partner and automotive sector leader for Deloitte, to give us more insights.
I thank you, everyone, and thanks for having us as the knowledge partner and also the process partner. Every year, the same process happens, and we see a lot of deliberations, discussions in the room. So thanks, we try to do our job well, and hopefully it has been done well thus far. Yeah. So I just want to speak about a few trends, right? That's what I was told to do. So, at a very high level from a global perspective, right? What we are seeing is that if you look at 2015 versus 2030, the extreme ends of the graph, right? You will see that net compared to the last, say, the biggest peak that we have seen around 2017, maybe at the global level, that is something that we have peaked out already. Now, if you double click on this, Asia Pacific is the largest or the fastest growing sector in the future. In fact, EMEA, which is predominantly driven by Europe as well as North America, is actually shrinking. Now, there are some more details around it, we can chat later, but like, for example, China also seems to be tapping out by end of 25 or 26, and then it'll start tapering a little. Now, if I move on, right, closer to home, what we do is we do something called as consumer signals. It's a global study that we do, and interestingly, we do it every week. In India, we do it every quarter. And that's how we present the results of the consumer sentiments, okay, with respect to various industries, various things. You can scan the QR and you will see for yourself, and you can track it month on month. But from a future vehicle intentions, right, India is one of the highest vehicle intention markets, right? It has consistently been on the highest side where people are willing to buy a car in the next 6 months, which is also now getting a big boost thanks to the GST that we've seen reducing. In case of EVs also, the percentage of respondents willing to buy the car in the next 6 months has consistently increased. Right, if you track over the last 2 years that we see, right, there is a continuous interest in the new energy vehicles, especially EVs as such. And a couple of important areas are, the drivers for this is, then people are wanting the new vehicles in the market that have, the best features, and they want it now. So that's one of the key drivers. Barriers is, people, affordability as well as, the vehicle is providing what they want right now. So that is one of the reasons why people are not able to switch, or rather not switching. But all in all, looks a very positive story for us. Now for us, closer to home, as I said earlier, right, everybody's industry expert here, so I don't want to get into the details of the India story as such, but net, both on passenger vehicles and two-wheelers, the new energy vehicle story is definitely intact. We are seeing right now at this stage, if you look at the same projections, we do have our own projections as well as we merge with global data. We probably are not there compared to what the government wants us to be in case of electric vehicles, but we are making decent strides towards it. And finally, the 6 key things. There are many things that keeps on popping up, but for us, we've just summarized it in the 6 areas. Number 1 is the powertrain mix and transition strategy for us is very important. I think people who have multi-powertrain strategy is something that everybody is trying to achieve. Whether it is what we lack, a lot of OEMs lack right now in India is very strong plug-in hybrid, range extenders, right? That's where there's a lot of transaction activity that we see that will continue to grow. Connected and software-defined vehicles, again, extremely important. I think we as India has cracked the code for quite a number of areas, but electrical and electronic architecture is something that we still need to, do a better job. And within that, E2E as well as ADAS are the 2 areas. Third is the feature evolution. Now this is, as I said, right, one of the primary reasons for a customer to buy a car is the features. And can I get it now? So I think that will continue to evolve. And I was in China a few weeks back, and I've been consistently seeing China. Customers are driven by features. And the second thing is the sentiment towards domestic usage, or rather domestic brands. Just another trivia, right? At this stage, by Q3 of 2025, in China, 65% of the cars sold are of local players, okay, local manufacturers. Okay, so again, pretty much similar, it's just that both the countries like features a lot more. Subscription-based revenue models, a lot of us, including us, we were skeptical a few years back, but now it is the reality. In the future, the profit pools are any which way is going to shrink. So, what we've been thinking, and we are also developing certain models globally and in India, looks like that today from 4% of revenue, additional revenue streams, which we know across the value chain, might increase to 17 or 18% in future. That will give us some new areas, not only for revenue, but actually higher profitability. Consistent policy enablement, extremely important for us as the industry. As of now, the government seems to have been consistent. We will see how the CAFE norms are executed, but those are probably going to be the most important pillars for the future development as such. And we hope that all the new energy vehicles, including battery electric vehicles and plug-in and range extenders, will be looked at together holistically as a single, driver of policy. And finally, smart manufacturing, Industry 5.0, a new buzzword, but at the end of the day, it is more about how humans and machines can interact better with each other. And a lot of smart factories will come in, digital twins will come in, and from a battery perspective, right? I mean, if you look at it, the evolution of new technologies and new chemistries will emerge, and we hope that it will emerge in India as such. With this, I'll conclude my remarks, and I'll hand it over back to the host. And thank you very much for having us as the knowledge partner. I hope that you all have a great evening. And all the best to the winners, or rather the people who've been nominated. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Kranti Sambhav, editor, Overdrive.
And I'm Atish Mishra, executive editor at Evo India. And it's finally time for the first award of the evening. It's time for the Green Car Award by ICOTY.
And this is one of those segments where data and figures would not give you a complete picture if you just look at the market share, because electric vehicles are different beings altogether. If you look at the buzz, the tech, and the impact they have on the market, customer and the way they have changed customer sentiment and overall automotive ecosystem, it's a totally different story. We have seen them changing the narrative, pushing the boundaries, and even gate crashing the segments as we have witnessed this year. So let's start with the AV, please.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 6th edition of the Green Car Award by ICOTY. As we progress increasingly towards what looks to be an electrified future, the 6th edition of the Green Car Award category comes at an opportune time. In 2025, we saw an increasing splurge of green car offerings in India, and what was heartening to see was that the new cars were not just limited to luxury and premium offering, but also affordable vehicles, ones that cater to a much wider segment of the Indian buying public. After a tremendous response upon introduction in 2021, the Green Car Award category in ICOTY reflects the commitment of the manufacturers and the journalistic community alike towards encouraging future mobility. The Green Car Award celebrates the ideologies and efforts of the industry for a green future and gives strength to the emerging sector of battery electric, hybrid, and in the future, even hydrogen-powered vehicles. We are in the midst of very interesting times, and with the automotive industry's proactive response to fight air pollution and greenhouse emissions, we are witnessing fantastic technological solutions with electric vehicles leading the charge. It is wonderful to see that every manufacturer is pushing the boundaries of research and development to find the most impactful future propulsion solution, and we applaud and support them in their endeavor. JK Tyres has, since the inception of ICOTY in 2006, constantly supported the jury to ensure that this has become the most credible and coveted award in the industry. With future technology vehicles finding increasing favor with customers over the past couple of years in India, the Green Car Award is a category that represents a wide plethora of vehicles that can dramatically change what the mobility and transportation solutions for Indian customers could well possibly be in the future. Winning the Green Car of the Year award is no small feat because it needs a vehicle to offer a confluence of many attributes. Suitability of the product for India, relevance to the Indian market, real-world performance, ease of recharging, reliability, design, and importantly, good value for money, given that these technologies are still priced on the higher end of the scale for our market. Taking all that into account, here are cars that stood firm on the parameters to make it to the shortlist for the Green Car Award 2026. The BMW iX1 long wheelbase, BYD Sea Lion 7, the Hyundai Creta Electric, the Kia Carens Clavis EV, the MG Cyberster, the Mahindra XCV 9e, the Tata Harrier EV, the Tesla Model Y, Deloitte is our knowledge partner to make the awards more transparent and credible. And now, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the winner of Green Car Award 2026 by ICOTY.
I would like to call Dr. Singhania a representative from Deloitte and the ICOTY jury up onto stage for the announcement.
Good to see you. Club. Thank you.
Here we are again.
Hello, sir. How are you? Ladies and gentlemen, the Green Car of the Year 2026, the second runner-up, the BMW iX1 LW. The first runner-up, Kia Carens Clevis EV. And the winner, of course, is Mahindra XEV 9e.
Firstly, good evening, and Dr. Singhania and the ICOTY jury. Real privilege. Thank you very much for this honor. More than 3 years ago, we dreamt of creating a new future in the automotive industry in India with our InGlow platform and the born electric vehicles as well. And that dream came true last year we were dreaming electric. Our event itself was about Unlimited India and Dreaming Electric. And today, to win this award and going against the kind of competition, each one of those world-class products out there, it truly is a momentous occasion for us. And thank you again. Thank you very much, and really proud to accept this award on behalf of the entire Mahindra team. Thank you.
All right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Tushar Kamath, jury member on behalf of Kar Dekho and perpetual recipient of height-related small talk.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Sagar Banushali and also a member of the ICOTY, and I'm the deputy editor of Carwale.
And I must say that after decades of watching many of our esteemed members of the audience today speaking to us from a stage, it does feel a little bit odd, a slight bit funny to be speaking to you and presenting to you, especially being at the receiving end of several cameras saying, sir, yahan par ek baar. And, but it is a great honor to be presenting this particular award.
Yeah, so now it's time for the Premium Car of the Year award. Every year, this is one segment which sets new benchmarks when it comes to luxury, comfort, and design, of course. And this year has been particularly busy because we have had so many premium car launches over the year. So let's not wait anymore and take a look at all the contenders.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 7th edition of the Premium Car Award by ICOTY. Considered the Oscars of the Indian automotive industry, these awards are judged by a panel of the most respected automotive journalists in the country. We instituted the Premium Car Award back in 2019 to ensure that we also focused on a fast-growing segment in the Indian car market, the luxury segment, which has been growing by leaps and bounds in the recent past. In fact, if anything, the resurgence in the past 4 years for the premium segment has shown how strong the luxury market is becoming in India, with record number of sales and the vast potential in this segment that still lies untapped. The conception of the Premium Car Award has also allowed ICOTY to cater to a growing and increasingly important section of the Indian car market, one that includes the finest automobiles from around the world, which are seeing unprecedented demand from Indian customers. JK Tyres has, since the inception of ICOTY in 2006, constantly supported the awards, and we take this opportunity to thank them for their unwavering support. As always, the ICOTY jury sets the industry standard, with industry stalwarts coming together to identify the finest new product launches of the past year. Winning the Premium Car of the Year award requires a combination of many qualities in any vehicle. Main being factors such as the suitability of the vehicles to Indian conditions, but there are other factors too, such as comfort, reliability, design, driving appeal, and of course, luxury. refresh your memory, the winner of the 6th edition of the Premium Car Award by ICOTY was the Mercedes-Benz E-Class. Without any further ado, here are the shortlisted contenders battling it out for the title of Premium Car Award 2026 by ICOTY. The BMW iX1 Long Wheelbase, the BMW X3, the Mercedes-Benz G-Class, the MG Cyberster, the Skoda Kodiaq, the Skoda Octavia RS, the Toyota Camry, the Volkswagen Golf GTI, Deloitte is our knowledge partner to make the awards more transparent and credible. And now, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the winner of the Premium Car Award 2026 by ICOTY.
May I please request Dr. Singhania, member from our knowledge partner Deloitte, as well as the ICOTY jury, to please join us on stage to present this award.
All the duty are here. Ladies and gentlemen, the Premium Car of the Year 2026. The second runner-up is BMW iXi LWB. The first runner-up is Toyota Camry. And guess what? The award winner is Volkswagen Golf GT.
More a performance car, but it qualifies in the criteria for the price.
I think this is you can let me try.
Good evening, everyone. It is an absolute honor to receive this award for the Golf GTI. We are thrilled to see a car which has been around for almost 50 years, making inroads to India this year and winning this award. We are very happy. And I must share, we were very optimistic and also very confident the car will do exceedingly well. The overwhelming situation was when the initial lot of orders that came in far exceeded our own expectations, and we had to go for a second lot. That is the Golf GTI, the original hot hatch, which has been capturing the hearts of almost 37 million customers worldwide, and India is now ready, and we are too excited. To our customers, thank you. Thank you for the confidence in the Golf GTI and sharing our passion. To the jury, the distinguished jury, thank you for recognizing the Golf GTI excellence. And we are truly humbled and grateful. Thank you very much.
Good evening and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This one is for the Indian Motorcycle of the Year 2026. This is the 19th edition of this award. My name is Karthik Ware, Chairman of IMOTY and Managing Editor of Motoring World. I'm afraid that I'm going to have to keep this brief in the interests of both time and my sore throat. Or you may be subjected to an involuntary beatbox performance on this microphone by yours truly. This year, we've had a selection of some fantastic machines, including the first ever electric motorcycle to make it to our shortlist of finalists. Wow, that's some excellent writing. Which is something, by the way, that we couldn't have imagined just a handful of years ago. What's easy to understand, though, is that this is the most credible jury around, and you can trust the outcome of this process. Yeah, I know, keep sniggering. But it's okay if you don't trust the outcome as well, because we'll be having fun on motorcycles anyway. This year has been about all kinds of motorcycles, and scooters too, by the way, and we don't talk about them enough. And the overall trend leans towards machines that converge on the trifecta of charm, performance, and ability. I had a few jokes about E20, petrol, and GST reforms, but I think you already know their respective punchlines. Thank you to JK Tyre for being a constant support throughout this 19-year-long journey, as we look forward to the 20th edition next year. And finally, a special thank you to our secretaries, Atish and Shivank, because of whom the rest of us more or less just showed up and had a good time. Thank you once again, guys. Now, Abhinav and Karan, you're up.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Abhinav Jakhar, Assistant Editor, Auto Today. Good evening, guys. I'm Karan Mathur. I'm a multimedia producer at AutoX. Now, there's an old saying with motorcyclists. There are those who have fallen and those who are about to. And looking at the sheer number of adventure and off-road motorcycles that we had on test this year, I think I speak for the entire jury, and maybe it's just myself, that we had our fair share of the first category. But we definitely had fun doing so, and my doting mother and my family doctor, well, they send their regards.
But in all seriousness, looking at the class of 2026, we haven't just raised the bar, we've changed the terrain completely. The dominant theme this year, undoubtedly, is the call of the wild, the thirst for adventure. We are witnessing a shift where the Indian motorcyclist is no longer a commuter, but an explorer. We have purpose-built, world-class machines here that beg you to leave the tarmac behind.
And the story doesn't end in the dirt. Well, you see, the beauty of the 2026 lineup is the sheer contrast. We have a clear fight between the past and the future, and, well, you have modern classics with heavy-hitting nostalgia, and you have them going up against cutting-edge electric performance. And whether it's an EV, a retro cruiser, or an enduro, the engineering quality proves one thing. Indian manufacturer is no longer playing catch-up. They are setting the pace.
Now, choosing a winner from this group was a challenge, but it's one as the jury that we look forward to year after year. Ladies and gentlemen, let's take a look at the machines that made the cut. Here's the shortlist for the Indian Motorcycle of the Year 2026.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 19th edition of the Indian Motorcycle of the Year Awards. The two-wheeler industry in India has been going through a difficult phase, and 2025 has proven to be no different, except, thankfully, for a few bright flashes of customer demand every now and then. Driven by increasingly stringent regulations as well as inflationary issues, prices of two-wheelers have been rising exponentially, and that is certainly taking a toll on the customer set, which is still largely price-conscious. Nevertheless, two-wheeler manufacturers have been working hard to bring in not just the latest in both products and technology to the Indian market, but also providing customers with a vast variety of product choices. The increasing number of electric two-wheeler offerings reflect the dedication that the industry has shown towards the possible future direction and potential customer demand. The Indian Motorcycle of the Year Award ceremony has been presented by JK Tyre since its very inception. JK Tyre has consistently supported IMOTY, which has grown to become the most credible and coveted award in the Indian two-wheeler industry. And, like the contenders for the top award, even the IMOTY jury themselves are the industry standard, with the experts and journalists coming together to identify the most important product of the year. Each member of the jury is a motorcycle expert from the most trusted automotive publications and portals in India. Winning the IMOTY award requires more than just power or style of a vehicle. There are many other aspects considered as well, such as rider involvement, ergonomics, power delivery, ease of riding, comfort, reliability, and also suitability to Indian conditions. All these factors must come together for a motorcycle to be in the reckoning and ensure that only the most deserving motorcycle takes top honors. To refresh your memory, the winner of the 18th edition of the Indian Motorcycle of the Year Award in 2025 was the Aprilia RS 457. And now, without further delay, here are the contenders for the Indian Motorcycle of the Year 2026. Honda CB 125 Hornet, KTM 390 Adventure, KTM 390 Enduro R, Royal Enfield Classic 650, TVS Apache RTX, Ultraviolet X47, Yamaha XSR, To ensure that the voting process is completely fair and unbiased, Deloitte is our knowledge partner. And now, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the Indian Motorcycle of the Year 2026.
All right, I'm excited. Now, I'd like to invite Dr. Singhania, representatives of Deloitte, and the entire jury to come on stage to present the award.
The IMOTY 2026 Awards give the second runner-up Ultraviolet X47. First runner-up is KTM 390 Adventure. And guess the winner. The winner is TVS Apache RTX.
You always see an excitement between a two-wheel and a four-wheel. That's the difference between a two-wheeler and a four-wheeler. When the four-wheeler comes, very few people on the stage because the number of wheels define the car. And when you have a two-wheel, you see the people who ride the motorcycle. That's the difference between two-wheel and four-wheel. Very happy to be here to receive this award. Thank you, jury. Thanks, Dr. Singhania. And thanks for creating such a wonderful platform for Indian Motorcycle of the Year award. I'm very, very happy and honored to receive this award on behalf of the passionate engineers we have, the designers, and our factory racing team and the manufacturing team which made this beautiful motorcycle come alive. And I'm also very happy that TVS has always been creating category first. In 1993, we created ICOTY, and today every scooter is called a Scooty. In 2005, we created a motorcycle by the name of Apache, which is a tribe. And I'm very happy to be here once again at this award. We won this award in 2022 for Raider, and today we are winning it for Apache. I must tell one thing, Dr. Singhania, while as there is a 19th year of this IMOTY Awards, Apache is slightly ahead. As we say, it's a performance first motorcycle. This is the 20th year of Apache in India. And I'm very happy to say that it's made in India, made for the globe, and TVS motorcycles are world class. And this shows us that our motorcycles are truly global, and made in India is truly global for all of us. Thank you very much for this award. Thanks a lot.
So this is Dipayan Datta, I'm Kushan Mitra, and wow, Dipayan, they've invited two bongs to give out the big prize tonight.
So two Bengalis up on stage to give the most coveted award of the year, the Automotive Award of the Year. So on that, namaskar to all of y'all, and amra tomader shobaike bhalobashi.
And you'll see the list of contenders. But what is most impressive about this year's shortlist is if anybody had any doubts that India is electrifying, 4 out of the 8 shortlisted contenders this year are battery electric vehicles. And next year, we already know is going to be a great year for BEVs. We're going to be seeing a lot of electric vehicles. And maybe, I don't know, will a BEV win this year?
So we've spoken for a bit. And to ensure that everybody can get back to the bar, let's play the AV.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 21st edition of the Indian Car of the Year Awards. Over the past few years, the Indian automotive industry has seen record sales numbers, and the records are likely to continue to tumble with an expected 4+ million passenger vehicles sold this year, making India one of the biggest automotive markets in the world. Despite ever more stringent regulations and increasing investment in new technologies, the industry continues to provide the power of choice to Indian customers. The Indian Car of the Year Awards ceremony has been presented by JK Tyre since its inception. With JK Tyre's support since 2006, ICOTY has grown to become the most credible and coveted award of the industry, where the top vehicles challenge each other for the top spot. Considered the Oscars of the Indian automotive industry, the awards are judged by a panel of the most respected automotive journalists in the country. And, like the contenders for the top award, even the ICOTY jury themselves set the industry standard, with the most reputed automotive journalists and experts coming together to identify the most important car of the year. Winning the ICOTY Award requires a combination of many important qualities in any vehicle. Suitability of the vehicle to tackle the extreme conditions of our country, of course, but also factors such as comfort, reliability, design, driving appeal, fuel efficiency, and of course, the value that a vehicle provides to Indian car buyers. To refresh your memory, the winner of the 20th edition of the Indian Car of the Year Award was the Mahindra Thar ROXX. And the shortlisted contenders battling it out for the title of the Indian Car of the Year 2026 are Hyundai Creta Electric, Hyundai Venue, Kia Carens Clavis EV, Kia Ceros, Mahindra XEV 9e, Maruti Suzuki Victoris, Skoda Kailak, Tata Harrier EV, Deloitte is ICOTY's knowledge partner to ensure that the voting process is seamless, credible, and absolutely foolproof. And now, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the winner of the Indian Car of the Year 2026.
So I can't wait to find out who's won the big prize.
I am excited too, but before we do that, can we just have a shout out for Ishan, who's been running and having probably the best workout of all of us between this stage and the basement, just to get the award as they are announced.
All right. Oh yeah, Ishan's got the hardest workout of his life actually. I'd like to invite on stage Dr. Raghupati Singhania, Chairman Tyre, as well as representatives from Deloitte. And I can't wait to find out. I don't know who's won. So let's see who's won. The rest of the jury, please come up on stage. And we'd all like to find out who's won.
Thank you, sir.
This is heavy. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we've been waiting for the entire evening. The ICOTY 2026 Car of the Year. The second runner-up is Mahindra XEV 9e. The first runner-up is Skoda Kailak. Any guesses for the winner? So be it. The Car of the Year 2026, Maruti Suzuki Victorious.
Very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, Dr. Singhania, thank you very much for you to keep supporting this event for nearly 20 years, I believe. So your contribution is very big for the industry. And also, very good evening to the jury members. Thank you for your hard work to choose the one best car and bikes for the year. And good evening for my industry colleagues and media friends. It is a great pleasure for me to be here tonight to receive such a prestigious award. We know that we received several awards in the past, but it is quite difficult to get this award. So this time, I am really lucky to get this. And when we introduced this model, we said, Victoris got it all, but we are missing one. So tonight, we had last piece. So now really, we got it all. So thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, that brings proceedings to a close. Thank you all once again very warmly for making the time to come to this occasion. It's been a great one, as you've seen. Many congratulations once again to all the winners. Thank you once again to JK Tyre, our unstinting partner. Thank you to all the jurors. Before I sign off, let me tell you that we have another surprise performance coming up, so stand by for that. And enjoy the rest of the evening. Thank you.